Dashcam video shows the moment deputies say 43-year-old Ronnie Spradlin's life of crime came to an end. The 88-time convicted felon trying to escape in a stolen car hits a dead end, points his gun out the window, and fires at a deputy who returns fire, shooting Spradlin 3 times.
But then you see the coward lean over to the right. And the video clearly will show you that the coward takes his own life.
This all started Tuesday night when deputies were called to Walmart for a shoplifting complaint. Investigators say Spradlin was trying to steal a swimsuit and became combative with deputies trying to arrest him. A deputy pulls out a taser, but Spradlin pulls out a gun.
And within 4 feet of our brave deputy, fired several rounds at our deputy. Thank God he missed the deputy.
Sheriff Darrell Lohr says Spradlin then shot into a car, injuring a man and wife when they wouldn't let him steal the car with their young kids in the back seat. Dashcam shows them driving away for safety with a bullet hole through their window before flagging down another deputy for help.
Then the coward doesn't go to a big burly guy to carjack him. He goes to a single lady, carjacks her,
prompting a corporal to get behind him and finally bring his criminal acts to an end outside of an auto zone.
3 of the bravest deputies that I've ever met.
Lohr praising his deputies for likely sparing more people from being hurt or worse.
We could be planning funerals today. This is reality, folks.
But sending a strong message to the community that this outcome was only the result of many resources, practice, and good training.
And if I hear anything about defunding, don't bring it up to me.
All right, so what is the officer focusing on during this pursuit? Things ended up in that parking lot, not a long way to go, but where's your focus? What are you thinking about? Dr. Darren Porcher.
You know, one of the first things that I think of as a police officer, just from an investigative perspective, I have had hundreds of hours to investigate these shootings of this caliber, police shootings that only occurred in roughly 90 seconds max. Therefore, this officer is making split-second decisions. One of the things, I commend the officer for being safe as a result. One of the things that I noticed that he did first was he used his taser as opposed to drawing his firearm. Car stops are some of the most dangerous things that you can ever embark upon as a police officer in the street. Therefore, you need to be overly vigilant. One of the first things that I say is, look, we want to be safe, and the officer, I identified that he used the taser first, but go straight to pulling out your weapon when you're stopping a car. We have a predicate felon that cares nothing about the people that are surrounding him. Fortunately, we had no casualties other than the assailant. And it goes back to, this is a dangerous job. And the sheriff's, or I don't know if he was the chief of police, stated it best. We hear defunding police. This is a clear example of police needing more resources as opposed to less resources. And fortunately, our hero stayed in focus of the social contact and in affording protections that are applied by government as a result.
Donald Schweitzer, they're in the moment, where are you looking? What are you focusing on?
Well, in this particular case, I think that he was focusing just on that vehicle. And, you know, in these very stressful moments when your heart is in your ears, you know, your adrenaline is pumping, you're not really thinking as you are normally. Things are in slow motion. You're focused on the car. You're not seeing a lot of things in your peripheral because you got the suspect ahead of you. Vinny, how would you like to go home after one of these days and go to bed and just dream about that gun being pointed at you, you know, probably for weeks or months afterwards? I mean, this is a terrifying situation, and this officer will never forget this day. He got so close to getting shot himself. You know, this demonstrates the danger of police work and the necessity of good tactics as well. You know, this car stop was directly behind that car, and the way that car maneuvered, he pointed the gun directly at that officer, and, you know, had he fired, who knows how that would have turned out. But, you know, fortunately, the officer wasn't hurt, and, you know, this ended in the way that we would want it to. But it's the work of the officers in their training, like was said, that concluded this way.